OzGood Perkins has brought us Longlegs. He is the son of Anthony Perkins, the star of Psycho. This is his fourth film, I believe. Maika Monroe is in it from It Follows, Nicolas Cage. Blair Underwood is also in it. I thought this was solid. It is between the 70s and the 90s. It goes back and forth. I think the cinematography is absolutely beautiful. I did a video on the directorial style of OzGood Perkins quite a while ago, and he is definitely one of the kings of, we could say, the power of restraint. So as this is a crime, serial killer, psychological thriller horror, it's not big on being super gory, jump scares. It's more fear and terror over horror. If you liked It Follows, I think that's a perfect example of a movie that shows the difference between sort of terror over horror and that overlonging dread sort of vibe. However, Nicolas Cage is fantastic in the role. The movie is a slow burn, and I'm also very glad that the crime elements didn't get too convoluted to where it was confusing, since it is a slow movie. But I think it's pretty solid, and I will definitely be rewatching it in the future. Stay tuned for part 2 for my other thoughts. For this part, I'll be more so saying my opinions and maybe some more spoiler type thoughts. I love that the trailer didn't give away much of anything for this movie. I think even though I would have loved to have seen Nicolas Cage on screen more, they did it enough to where it wasn't too repetitive. I didn't know exactly where things were going, even pretty far into the movie, because as a detective, they hadn't gone very far. They did sort of get at this sort of supernatural element, but I think that was quite surprising because it seemed like it was going to be a pretty clean-cut, unaliving people in a very normal way, even though obviously there is something with the star. She had very little personality. Even though she was great in the role, they showed a sort of progression of her personality in the way of, if I was a detective but also scared, I am going to have anxiety, but I'm going to get the job done. Blair Underwood, I enjoyed seeing him in this. He's not aging. Nicolas Cage, again, unrecognizable. I believe this movie, they said, was up to $10 million budget, but I think they did a lot. Neon is really stepping it up. They're becoming one of my favorite production companies up there with A24. Did you guys like it? Did the ending feel a little rushed? Would you have liked to have seen maybe just one more something to see if what was happening really would have happened? While we do know it was supernatural, I kind of was interested to see, since the mom and Nicolas Cage's character ended, what does that mean for Lee? Because when she was in the car, it sort of mirrored her making some of the same expressions as Longlegs. The film looked beautiful though. I want to rewatch it. My friend was jumping at almost every non-jump scare jump scare. It was really, truly eerie, and I appreciated that. I'm glad it got where it was going, because it wasn't the most thrilling for a psychological thriller, but the psychological part is definitely there. Did you guys like it? It aired on the side of artsy fartsy, but not too much. So I think it just made for good filmmaking overall.